you NRA members for honoring us by holding your annual meeting in the great state of Missouri in St. Louis. And we're here to make history. The governor of our state will be out here momentarily to make history by signing Senate Bill 257, which says neither the state nor any political subdivision nor any person shall prohibit or restrict the lawful possession, transfer, sale, transportation, storage, display, or use of firearms or ammunition during an emergency. These fine leaders and elected public servants standing behind me did the hard work and the heavy lifting to make this a reality, and they deserve your thanks and the appreciation of all freedom-loving Americans and Missourians. But you know what? I think you ain't seen nothing yet, because before the legislature adjourns on the 18th of May, the Castle Doctrine will have been passed in both houses. And there may still be yet other pro-Second Amendment legislation on the governor's desk ready for signature. Thank you all for having me.
As you just heard the Lieutenant Governor say, here's why all these leaders are gathered for this historic day. Everyone knows about the terrible loss of life and property in New Orleans caused by Hurricane Katrina, but most people still don't know that in the aftermath of Katrina, and for the first time in American history, government officials ordered the door-to-door confiscation of firearms from law-abiding citizens at gunpoint. They forcibly took their guns when they needed them the most. But what happened in Louisiana can never happen in Missouri because of what's about to happen on this stage today. It's called the Missouri Disaster Recovery Protection Act. And thanks to these leaders, it was passed by the legislature just yesterday. And to make it law, I'm proud to welcome to the stage a true friend of the Second Amendment, the governor of the great state of Missouri, Matt Blunt.
Thank you, and it is a great privilege to be here with so many great Americans who are committed to defending our freedom. And as governor, it is a privilege to welcome you to St. Louis and to Missouri. We are proud to host the National Rifle Association's annual meeting. Together here at an exciting time in our state, Missouri now has more jobs than ever before in our history. Businesses are moving here, personal income is on the rise, increased prosperity for Missouri's families as a result of policies we've enacted in Jefferson City to enlarge economic freedom and get out of the way of the people so they can experience the full benefit of their ingenuity, creativity, and hard work. We want to empower the people to make their own decisions. Unfortunately, there will always be a few who believe that important decisions should be made by a self-described elite. These elitists pretend that they know how to do virtually everything better than the hard-working people that are opening businesses, teaching our children, and building neighborhoods one home at a time. This privileged group thinks they know better than the people what rights should be protected. They do not understand the Constitution and the Bill of Rights were designed to protect our freedom from an overreaching and intrusive government. They refuse to acknowledge that the Second Amendment creates a personal right to bear arms. Here in Missouri, we understand the meaning of the Second Amendment. It does not merely give government militia rights for how can the government give itself a right in a document that is written to restrict its power. It does not give certain citizens or specific citizens a right to the exclusion of others. The very purpose of our Constitution is to provide equal protection to all of our citizens. Missourians understand that the Second Amendment protects the individual right of all Americans to own firearms. Missourians know what the Second Amendment means. It means what it says in very plain English. It means now what it meant more than 200 years ago, when the Constitution and Bill of Rights became the most wonderful charter for freedom in human history. The Second Amendment protects fundamental individual rights. But as history has taught us, we cannot always rely on unelected judges to uphold our constitutional rights. So here in Missouri, we're pushing legislative initiatives that will protect individual rights from an overreaching government. We're currently working on legislation that will give every Missourian the right to treat their home as their castle. Law-abiding Missourians should not have to retreat from threats to themselves or their families. In Missouri, we will codify the castle doctrine into law. And I'm happy to announce today that with more than a month left in our legislative session, the Missouri General Assembly has already passed legislation that will protect the Second Amendment rights of Missourians, especially in a time of emergency. This legislation is a straightforward affirmation that neither state government nor local government have the right to seize firearms in a time of emergency. It's certainly a great privilege to sign this legislation here today, because I know that it's NRA members that are defending our Second Amendment rights and individual freedoms. It's because of you that Second Amendment rights are being protected throughout the United States. Now it's my very special privilege to sign Senate Bill 257 in your presence.
On behalf of the NRA and all the citizens of Missouri, thank you, Governor Blunt. Now I'm proud to introduce NRA's second Vice